Hey guys, Thijs here. I'm in my Airbnb apartment in Slovakia, Kosice, and in this video I'm gonna review my tent. This place is quite spacious, so I think I'm able to set up my tent here, and then I'm gonna show you all the ins and outs of my tent and give you a little review about my tent, which is the MSR Hubba NX one-person tent. So this tent is pretty high-end. It cost me about $350 or like 300 euros. I've slept in it for well over 50 nights now, I think. About 50 nights, of which in winter conditions, I think pretty much every season except for spring. So right now it's summer, I've used it a lot, but on my last trip, it got down into the minuses sometimes. I've camped in the snow once. I've also used it in some winter conditions as well. It says it's a 3-season tent, but I think it's also fine in winter conditions. It might be a bit cold, but it also depends on the sleeping bag you're using and if you put on all your clothes, that sort of stuff. So anyways, as you can see, everything should be able to fit in this one bag, but I don't do that. I keep some stuff separate. So this is all my wet and dirty stuff. So this includes the ground cover, as well as the rain fly, as well as the stakes. Those are all in there. This is the inner tent right here. I keep that in a separate bag. And these are the tent poles that I actually don't put in my pannier, but it kind of is on top of it, strapped down on top of my left pannier, I think. Left or right pannier, I don't know. So yeah guys, I'm gonna show you how to set it up. Alright, first thing you do is you get the tent poles and you stretch those out completely. So as you can see, fully extended, it's quite a long contraption thing. Then I open this bag. And I first get out the ground tarp. So then you put them in each hole. And this is always a little tricky because now I need to get this set up. So what I do is I take my foot, I bend it, and I put it in here. There we go. So now you get something like this. Then I take the inner tent and I roll that out. Over the tarp. It's pretty awesome that I can use both hands now. That makes it so much easier. Well, normally I use both hands anyway, so it's actually not much different. It's pretty straightforward. Once you put each little clip into the tent pole on each side, you get something like that. And what you do is you take one of these loops and you put them into there, which creates that. And then you do that for the other side as well. There you go. And then, which is the awesome thing, you get a lot of headspace, and that is created by these little hooks here, which you just put onto the pole on each and every side. There are 2. And just like that, you got the inner tent all set up. So this is what I use when it's not raining. I sometimes like to even leave it like this because you get your, you can look outside, you know, that's the cool thing about this. This is how it opens up. And yeah, this is the inside. So the interior is pretty simple. You only have one pouch over here. I would have liked more because I like to put like trash or other things in there. And I also would have liked like a little zipper on this side. So this is the back side, right here's the back. And I sometimes, when the rain flies on, there's this little dry area right here where I can put my shoes or some other things. but I don't have a zipper there, so I have to walk around the tent to get there. Alright, last thing we have to do is put the rainfly on. So this is also quite simple. You got your 2 hooks, can you see that right there? I stretch it out like this. Put one there. Put one there. And then you stake these under the other loops right there. So there is pretty much your end result. I cannot put in the stakes in the ground because, you know, wooden floor doesn't really work so well. So normally you would have the front look a little bit more extended, but I think you've seen that in a lot of my videos. So one more thing I want to show you. This is often the setup that I have, so like half open, and then you have these little clip systems, so you can leave this like this. So you can leave this open, and when you stake it in, this is often, this is about the room size that you have outside the tent for your bags and stuff. So often I cannot put everything underneath it, so I have to, like the back of my panniers, this one for example, they're often like this. So you have the, this is waterproof, so it's nothing bad, but you often have this little thing extruding, and then anything that I have to access is right here on the inside, so that part is dry, but this part gets wet sometimes, and it's not very safe because people can just take this away and it's gone. So what I sometimes can do is I can lock them to my poles. That's also what I do with my bike. I lock them around the little loop on the ends of the tent, and yeah, that's how I do it. And then my backpack often just goes right here, and then I leave some stuff on the inside as well. So yeah, when I lay down completely, I've got my feet touching the end over there, my head, there's about that much space left between my head. I am 1.84 m, so I think you can be about 195 before you don't really fit in this tent anymore. So yeah, I'm 184, and I've got about this much room left between my head and the end of the tent. So yeah, that's about it about this tent. I really like it. One of the reasons is that it's so versatile that you can take the rainfly off and you can have multiple different setups. I believe you can also just have the rainfly on and not have the inner tent, so you kind of got like a little shelter type thing. You can look on the MSR website, I'll link it in the description down below, where I also get my tutorials from. Make sure before you go on a bike tour that if you buy, doesn't matter which tent, if you buy a tent, make sure you set it up at home before you go, so you know how to set it up. That's very important. That is really important, I think. And yeah, I think you can't go wrong with this tent. It's one of the best tents out there. The one-person tent that I have is pretty crammy. I think I would have liked the two-person version, just because I can lay more stuff inside dry instead of outside. But yeah, I don't really think you can go wrong with either the one-person or the two-person tent. I think you're fine. Also depends on how much stuff you bring, of course. If you just bring the tent, not all the video equipment that I bring, then I think the one person is good enough. There are not much things that I don't like about this tent except for the zipper on the back. It packs really small. I'll leave the amount of kilos that this tent weighs right here, because I don't really know 100% sure. Yeah, what sometimes does happen is when the inside of the rainfly gets dewy or wet in the morning, it sometimes does drip down into the inside of the tent. Sometimes that happens sometimes, but that's only like a few drops. But yeah, I also really like the color, the green color, camouflages in the wild, and yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with this tent. That's it for this video. Please give it a like if you did, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.